Okay, we are now streaming on Rumble, YouTube, and X here. So, and LinkedIn. I'm sorry. We are streaming on YouTube, X, and LinkedIn. So on Facebook, you folks are going to be getting a pre-recorded type thing, and I'm going to link to the YouTube video on that. So, for whatever reason, we had connectivity issues here at the beginning, and things were not working. I don't know why. So we're going to go over. I figured we take a little break. We kick in the OSHA, Department of Labor announcements. I don't know. We'll see. They're saying that Trump might curtail any of this stuff. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm going to leave it to you that way here. And we will adjust appropriately. Now, U.S. Department of Labor, Commerce released Skills First Hiring Guide to help employers hire, promote workers based on skill and knowledge. What a novel idea. No nepotism on there, no payoffs, no kickbacks. We're going to promote workers based on skill and knowledge. Wow. U.S. Department of Labor, Commerce released Skills First Hiring Guide. So we need a hiring guide for that? Really? This was announced at the White House's Classroom Career Summit, where President Biden, First Lady Jill Biden, that is Dr. Jill Biden, she earned it, welcomed nearly 300 education workforce leaders to announce new actions on the workforce, career, and technical education, and highlight key achievements by the Biden-Harris administration. Let's see what the starter kit is. They released it. Okay. My question is this a response to the election? Because James Carville, who I used to do a good impression of way back in the day, you should Google it, was not nice what he said on why they did that. Basically, the average man was not championed by the Democrats, according to him, except he didn't say it that nicely. And what I've noticed, and I'm probably going to be the same way when I get that age with him, and by the way, I hope he's doing well along with his wife, Mary Madeline, right? I think that's her name. With that, but no, nothing. There's no governor on him. He just lets it run. So what's the purpose of, and I'm looking at the document here, you're seeing it at home, and it shows, who did this, right? Who put this together, right? A cast of characters that are all familiar with you, between unions and Indeed and LinkedIn and Jobs for the Future and AFT, American Federation of Teachers. Examples of workers that could benefit from these strategies labeled in the book: skills-based hiring. A restaurant assistant manager who handles bookkeeping despite no formal training. A high school student who taught herself code to make her own video games and earned an Unreal Engine online certificate. A former service member who managed people in the military and earned an associate's degree in business management at a community college. You may be familiar with skills first hiring based on news coverage of employers removing degree requirements. Yeah, a lot of, tell you what, how many safety professionals don't have degrees, and they're pretty damn good safety professionals. I'll say that. Removing a 4-year degree requirement is only one consideration in building for skills first strategy. One of the reasons why, it depends on what field you're in, is insurance, I'm told. What do you mean, insurance, Jim? Well, people got to know what the hell they're doing. And hey, has a degree in this, I don't know. That's what we're doing. No, that doesn't really happen all the time. All right. Companies that overlook internal candidates, opportunities to elevate high performers. You should consider skills first promotion for existing staff. Helpful for people who went to college too. Skills first hiring opens paths. to workers who took college classes but never finished the degree, and leading by example. 70% of federal jobs now do not require 4-year degrees, and the government overhauled 100,000 information technology jobs to move towards skills first hiring. You know, uh, again, this is about employee retention. Nearly half of all new hires exit within 2 years, and that costs a lot if you're going to train them. Skills first strategies. Here are some reasons why we have to find better workers. Skills first strategies zero in on workers who can do the job and do it well. Workers and have the skill you need. There are financial, systemic, and other barriers keeping you from hiring skilled talent. For example, 70% of people of color and rural workers face barriers to completing a 4-year degree. Right? And I don't know. This is sort of like, do we really have to go into this? But apparently some people do. I mean, successful businesses already are doing this. I don't exactly understand the point to this part. I guess, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have this list here and here with everything else, and teach people to be a little bit more self-sufficient, a little bit more business savvy. I tell you what, this probably requires a whole program. I'm probably going to do one here on this. So I don't know. We'll see how this works out here with this. Right? U.S. Department of Labor sues National Maintenance Solutions operator who denied workers wages, attempted to deport employees who complained. This is a local story here out of Albany, New York. U.S. Department of Labor has filed suit to recover back wages, liquidated damages, punitive damages, and injunctive relief from a Tonawanda construction contract that allegedly underpaid employees and tried to have employees who complained deported by calling federal immigration authorities. The action follows an investigation by the department's Wage and Hour Division that found National Maintenance Solutions, LLC, and its president and founder, Thomas W. Paulette, did not pay minimum wage and overtime to employees working at hotels in Amherst, Buffalo, Hamburg, New York, and in Erie, Pennsylvania. So, again, violation of the Fair Labor Standards Act, and let's see what else. Employees were retaliated against. And we'll see how this turns out. Again, everyone's innocent until proven guilty on this stuff. Now, we have a couple of questions here, stories in a row here. So we have one in window cleaning, one company, one at a pizza oven. And if I scroll down to the rest of this stuff here and went all the way down, you would see there would be a lot of children working in dangerous tasks and children working here with this. My question is this: we have 300 and some thousand children that are they call them missing on the one side of the political aisle. The other side calls it unprocessed, and we don't know exactly where they are. They're out there somewhere. My question is are these children that we're reading these press releases on, are those the missing children from the 300 and some thousand? My question, what's their immigration status? Not that I'm out to get people here. I don't want to stay out of that, but what is their immigration status? Because we're seeing a lot of children working in places where they should not be working. Right, 12 and 13-year-old kids here. So, a Grand Rapids window cleaning company must pay $29,210 in civil penalties for employing 3 children to complete dangerous tasks while cleaning residential windows and gutters and installing Christmas lights. Children are not allowed to work at height, generally speaking. Investigators determined that the company allowed 2 of the 3 employed children to operate a motor vehicle over 6,000 pounds as part of their work duties and failed to maintain accurate employee records, including birth date of at least 1 child. A child was injured while working a dangerous job for which they never should have been hired. Right? And I don't know. It's here we go. In addition to penalties assessed, the consent findings require the company to train all supervisors and team leads on tasks prohibited for children to perform, including hazardous occupations order number 2, which prohibits children from driving motor vehicles, and hazardous occupations order C, which prohibits children from working on roofs. Again, dangerous things, not allowed to do on this. Here we have one at a pizza restaurant. This I could expect more because these are often family run or family owned things. It's a Iron River Pizza restaurant agrees to pay. It's in Wisconsin, $99,000 in penalties for employing children to operate hot oven, meat grinder, and work beyond allowed hours. Diners at an Iron River Pizza restaurant will sue teenage workers wearing different colored shirts or name tags, not as part of the marketing promotion, but to help managers quickly remember the ages of young employees to avoid them assigning them to dangerous duties or employing them to work longer. I tell you what, when I was that age and when I worked in that industry, that was, yes, I worked at Roy Rogers. I love the double R burger, by the way, which I don't think they have anymore. Double Roy Rogers burger was with ham. But I mean, this was a major issue, and I worked at a couple of other places, restaurants. This is a major issue here. With that, they all the time. I find it hard to believe that the people did not know that the managers did not know this. Maybe they didn't care about it, but I find it hard to believe that they didn't know. I'm sorry. Right, and everyone's innocent until proven guilty. With that. Okay, and here we have a landscaper who underpaid 60 employees and has to pay back $310,000. And here we have, just underpaid stuff. Nothing on the OSHA end here. And here's another pizza restaurant. Child labor law penalties. That's 3. I don't know. Are these children of the ones that are that they lost track of? That's my question on that. Pretty sad with that. And again, context drives behavior. Now, here is FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency. Now, if I run overtime on this on Safety FM, this will be released in the podcast. And again, I have to do some editing there because we had some audio issues at the beginning. I believe it's from a slow internet connection, but I have like a 5G connection here. But since we've had these fires the last couple of days, things have been a little bit in high winds. Things have got a little bit kaplooey on this stuff here. Now, when FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, when they are going into a situation, right, into a thing, and I've been trained on this. So this is not Jimmy talking with speculation. I've been trained on this. I'm part of the Community Emergency Response Team for Rockland County, New York. What happens is FEMA has to assess neighborhoods for a couple of different reasons. One of the reasons is to assess who needs help, right? Everyone, who needs help? Who needs help? Yeah, that is part of it. One of the other things is allocation of resources, allocation of where the real damage is. Now, we're trained to go out and do the survey. So what the idea here in Rockland County was that you have someone from your community. Everybody knows Jimmy with the safety wars, Jimmy with the 2 children, Jimmy with he'll lend you a hand. I wave to all the neighbors, and I get, hey, I'm Jimmy. I'm living on such and such a street, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm sent out here by the county, and we're doing a community survey on what damages there are out here, and we're gonna go out and we're gonna do our thing out here with We're, oh, okay, we got this. This is it. And we're trained to fill out the paperwork. The paperwork then goes to a central location. And now they're able to say, well, now these are what the issues. We may have some issues with this house being damaged. These people need help. This, and everybody, meant to be a community-based thing here. And Rockland County put this in place because they lost money during Superstorm Sandy, they think. Because what you're able to do is that we're bounded by a couple of different counties here. We have Orange County to the west and the north. We have Bergen County, New Jersey to the south. We have Westchester County to the east. So we're all bounded by 3 different counties. We are able to commingle damages for one loan. At least that's the way when I went through the training, that's how it was. So rather than saying we have, I'm just throwing numbers around here, $200,000 in damage in Rockland County, $200,000 in Orange County, and $200,000 in Westchester County, and treating them all as separate entities, now we are able to combine all the numbers. So now we have $600,000 or $800,000 as one unit. And guess what? Now we are eligible for more FEMA grants, FEMA help, FEMA assistance, and everything else. So these things are critical, not only for getting people what we know about FEMA's for getting loans, getting help, things of that nature, but it's also for funding. What resources are going to be allocated to you with this? So it's critical that FEMA gets the information so they're able to do that. But Jim, we got this going on here, this going on here. It's obviously that we need FEMA help. Yeah, it's obvious. But what they don't want is for all these resources to go out the window. Now, that's right. And let's remember, human and organizational performance. Context drives behavior, right? Context drives behavior. So, and she's been all over the media with this. So I don't feel bad about sharing the name. All right. So if I say her name, again, innocent until proven guilty, that she has very likely some type of litigation here or something like that with this. This is not the end of the story. And believe it or not, if I was in a similar situation, I might have made similar decisions. However, I might have done it a different way. Right. So here we have a story from Fox 13. Fired FEMA supervisor claims she followed orders when telling workers to avoid home of Trump supporters. The fired FEMA supervisor accused of telling workers to skip the homes of Trump supporters in Highlands County for Hurricane Milton relief is sharing her side of the story. Marnie, I believe that's how you spell her name, MARN apostrophe I, or it could be Marnai, Washington, said the situation is not as cut and dry as it seems. Again, context drives behavior. I mean, none of her actions were politically motivated. She claimed she was following orders from leadership and just wanted to keep her crew safe. I left my life, I left my family to serve America, to help the people, and now that has been misused and misconstrued, I am disillusioned. That's what I took oath with. On what it is I took the oath with. Washington has been a reservist for FEMA since 2019 after Hurricane Milton pushed a tornado through neighborhoods in Lake Placid. She was assigned as the crew heading the Highlands County Disaster Survivor Assistance. Her team was tasked with going door to door and canvassing homeowners who may be entitled to federal aid, like I just explained. My job is to make sure my team is safe and that they don't become part of the disaster, and everyone gets registered safe and sound. The situation went viral when a Microsoft Teams message Washington sent her recruit members was leaked to the Daily Wire, where she sent a list of the best practices to implement. One of them was which avoid homes advertising Trump. Those are shorthand notes after a briefing by my task force lead. She explained, based on the discomforts that the team had been experiencing over the past few weeks, we wanted to make sure the team felt was safe. Again, there were reports. Let me point out that a lot of people were pushing back. You're from, no, again, you go there. We had this with the census here in 2020. We had a guy going around knocking on doors. Guess what? I went up to the guy and said, look, my name is Jimmy Posel. I live in that house over there. We're very, and everyone's out. No, it was in like late summer, so everybody's out looking there and saying, who's Jimmy talking to? I said, look, I'm one of the community members here on the street. We only have about 20 people living on this street, maximum, very few houses, dead end street. We only have about 20 people coming in here a day. No, and they're usually delivery persons, maybe landscapers, some workers of delivery, people coming up and down, things of that nature. So, if you don't mind, right? Again, explaining the context. Who are you? You're going around door to door and everything. And he says, "Oh, I appreciate that." And he says to me, "Well, Mr. Posel, I'm with the U.S. Census. Here is my ID. Blah blah blah. I'm knocking on all the doors." I said, "Okay, thank you very much on that." He says, "Do you folks really do that in this neighborhood?" I said, "Yeah, we all look out for each other in this neighborhood." I said, "We got this guy living here, this guy living here, this family living here, this family living here. We all stick together here and we look out for each other. And, just when we see someone going door to door, towards the evening, we want to find out exactly who is here." Nobody says to me, he says, "Mr. Posel, that's nice that you people do that." And he says, "By the way, I want to move to this community." I said, "Well, the house over there is for sale. You're welcome to the community, but this is how we roll here." So thank you very much. He said, "I wish all communities were like this." I said, thank you. But anyway, so again, you have people coming around. You have people, who the hell are you? What are you doing here? And there's a couple of you have that sort of thing. So going on again, she says, there are a few things that can prevent FEMA personnel on your property. That is no trespassing signs, a privacy sign, loose animals, unstable ground. If you come outside yelling and screaming, it's dangerous for us to enter. We will also still leave you a flyer so you'll be able to contact FEMA. Wash claimed that was the case in a few areas. Some of them encountered verbiage such as drain the swamp. The last week I was there, I was present with a lady who directly told my team leader that FEMA was not her thing and that she took an aggressive stance. Okay, again, they're sending out people with no security here. Exactly what the hell are they supposed to do? And I think automatically, again, this is the Biden administration, not the Trump administration. For the Biden administration to fire someone right off the bat, right, this is what the appearance is, without first checking and finding out what the context is, bad move, right? And apparently what their thing was that people who had Trump signs had this on. They had negative encounters. Again, okay. Might I have done this differently? Yeah, I probably would have. But hindsight being 2020 really doesn't matter. I wasn't there. But, there were other reports of people, threatening and technically assaulting FEMA people and everything with things or pointing guns at them and stuff. Again, context drives behavior. It would have been now in your organization, wherever you live, when you're living your work, government, or whatever. I've seen this happen with the safety industry always. Well, why did you do X, Y, and Z, Jim? Well, because of X, Y, and Z. Well, you shouldn't have done X, Y, and Z. Well, why shouldn't I have done it? Well, you shouldn't have done it. And you're fired. Well, you didn't even hear my side of the story. There's one person named Joseph A. who is famous for that. He worked here I'm not going to say his last name. He worked in Central Jersey, would fire everybody. Then they wondered why nobody wanted to work there and why they still had accidents. Because you wouldn't back up safety, number one. And number two, you didn't promote safety, number two. Number three, when there was an accident, nobody did any context. It's extremely important what that context drives behavior and going and figuring that out. So that's what I want to leave you with here, right? Don't automatically fire someone. Not good here with anything. Let's go through some of these other stories. We have one from British Columbia here, Canada. The family of a worker in British Columbia who was killed in the workplace is criticizing the way the employer has responded to the incident. The incident happened in December 2022 when the employee, Bill Shershipidov, a forklift operator, died after a sack of pallets fell on him. Okay, so let's see what this is about. The employer is getting sued for $290,000 Canadian, which what's that, about $50? I don't know. I'm only joking. However, the company has not made enough of an effort to make things right. They could have a decency to apologize and say, we were wrong. We should have been safer. We should have done this or that. And we're very sorry. We're responsible for this. However, the company only reached out after Shrest sent a letter requesting an apology almost 2 years after the death. An apology of the company would show that it was taking the onus on itself. However, the only communication the family had received from the company in the wake of the death was an invite to the company's Christmas party after the incident. Again, you have an accident. I don't know what the circumstances here are. If you have to have a plan for all this stuff. As Jody Fisher in the PR podcast pointed out, and we had our conversation a couple months ago, great guy there. You got to have something in place to deal with this. It's all PR. Don't think PR isn't important. How are you going to deal with this stuff when the worst thing happens? How are you going to do it? I always say, this is what we know. This is what we don't know. This is what we're doing to find out. And this is who I am. Those 4 things. Right? Now, I can see where a company could say, well, we're not going to apologize and we're not, but okay, well, don't apologize, but just say something. Say, hey, we're all touched by what happened here at this facility today. We really liked this guy, whatever his name was. He was a valued employee, and we're trying to get down to the bottom of exactly what happened, the circumstances here. And we're going to set up a little fund for him. And pay for some of the funeral expenses. And we're going to be offering some counseling services to our own employees so they can get through this. We're going to have he was a devout religious person. We're going to have some clergy come in here to deal with the counseling. Maybe, and then we're going to have some type of memorial service here for him that's appropriate. We're going to, really reach out with these people. We really feel bad about this. That would be a great thing to do. But just don't leave them hanging for 2 years, and then you wonder why they're suing you. The oil industry found out long ago that if you try to get along with people, right? They're not the only industry. You try to get along with people, you're less likely to have litigation. Right? Way it is. It's not manipulative, but the thing is, you want to be a decent person. You want to be a decent company and try to get along with people. Care for your employees. Because this is the other thing. What message you want to send for your other employees? That your guys look, the guy died on a Monday, and on Wednesday there's an ad in the paper for his replacement. Or now online. You don't want that sort of thing. So you can call us and we can help you with that. 845-269-5772. That's all that I have for tonight. Looking forward to seeing you guys with some pre-recorded stuff Thursday and Friday. We are on a meeting. We have a couple of meetings and some other things to do on Thursday and Friday. So I'm not going to be able to make it here live on Safety FM. So for Safety Wars, this is Jim Posel, and we're going to lead on out with our patriotic songs here. And I will see you folks.